So, how about that George Lucas? He created Star Wars. He's had a lot of input with various other things that have happened with Star Wars ever since the initial creation. And of course, he ended up selling it to Disney. So let's talk about that. Now, Disney's, of course, had their own vision for Star Wars as much as anybody else, really. You know, the EU was largely surviving on other people's visions. And sometimes George would come in there and be like, I like that. I'm gonna take that. And other times he'd come in there and be like, what's his name? No, his name's Darth Icky. And Darth Insanius. So, you know, a little bit all over the place, but naturally he's the creator of it and he ended up selling it. So there's been a lot of vocal people in the Star Wars fandom ever since Star Wars The Return of the Jedi really came out. And that was already deemed kind of a disappointment by many people because it was too kid-friendly, focusing on the Ewoks. So going off of that, the prequels happened and, well, the prequels happened. I really don't like the second one. I like Phantom Menace more than it, and we can all agree that Episode 3 is probably the best. But then Disney got their hands on Star Wars, and of course they've done their own thing. Force Awakens, many people seem to generally loved. Rogue One, same thing. The Last Jedi, and then Solo, which people that saw it, they're like, you know, it was better than I expected. We didn't need it, but it was better than expected. And of course, Star Wars is going to keep going, whoever has it, but it's Disney that has it, they're never going to get rid of it, so being real, it was going to keep going anyway. So recently, one of the stars, he was more cameos, but Simon Pegg. You guys, I think, all know who Simon Pegg is. He was Shaun in Shaun of the Dead. He's Scotty in Star Trek. You know, a fan-favorite nerd actor, really. Came out and said he misses George Lucas. Now, for those of you keeping track, Simon Pegg has spent the last, 1999, episode 1? So he spent the last 19 years of his life hating George Lucas and the prequels. And now he says he misses them, and after watching The Last Jedi, he wishes George Lucas was back and kind of had some of that input. Now, here's where I'm going to agree with him, because I agree with him. You didn't see that coming, because I actually like The Last Jedi, right? But you didn't see that coming. But here's the thing. I can see what he's saying, and I agree with it to a degree. George Lucas had his own insane vision, and for as much of it as we might hate from the prequels, like the midichlorians and some stupid elements with the clones and many other stupid elements that are just kind of wasted, it was fun, and it was a really fun time, and it was just kind of like happy-go-lucky, mostly, right? But Disney has taken it in a different way where it's a lot more dark and grim, and I don't think people want that, and specifically with some of the storytelling elements. So I see where he's coming from, but let's be real. If George Lucas had produced the same films that Disney has made right now, the reaction would be the same. Because it's Star Wars fans. If there's anybody more fickle than Star Wars fans, point them out to me. But there's not. I mean, I'm a Star Wars fanatic, and even I'm like, let me complain. I love this movie. Let me complain, though. I got some things to say.